Share a story from a constituent of mine in Lafayette, Colorado, Paul Edward Condon. Like so many Coloradans, Paul feels that we need to replace our broken immigration system with one that works for our country and make sure that we have a way that the people who are already here can get right with the law. Paul writes that on his father's side, he's descended from people who, his daughter Catherine likes to say, qualify her to be a member of Daughters of the American Revolution. On his mother's side, he's descended from immigrants from Bohemia in the 1890s and homesteaded in Oregon. So, like many Americans, Paul is a child of both one side of the family with long roots in our country, to dating from before our country existed, and another side of his family, recent immigrants. As Paul writes, perhaps with the full sense of understanding that comes from his personal story, Paul writes, "We are all sons and daughters of immigrants, including those descended from people who were already here when my earliest immigrant ancestors arrived, and descended from the people who also arrived unwillingly in this country." Paul writes, all immigrants, all mingled together, and indeed even congresspersons are descended from immigrants. Paul further writes, congresspersons who wish to restrict immigration and reject immigrants are rejecting their own heritage. They be ashamed. I agree with Paul. We are all in this country descended from immigrants. And whether those immigrants arrived thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, decades ago, or last week, our future is intertwined with the very definition of America as an immigrant nation. A nation of laws, a nation of immigrants. Those two need to be reconciled. We need laws that reflect our values as Americans, our values as a nation of immigrants, laws that are enforceable and in touch with reality, rather than laws that tear families apart every day in this country and deny people who have worked hard here and contributed to society the opportunity to fully partake in our great country and to someday become Americans themselves.